Guys, we're back. Welcome again. Same shirt as last time. Same one for Nick. Same one for Chris, because we're doing this. We told you doing it on the last video. We're recording 4 videos for you guys because we're so sorry for not being, what's the word, consistent. We're consistent in our business practices, but we're very inconsistent in our YouTube videos. So we're sorry. So we're trying to knock out as many of those can on a Friday afternoon because we all had good weeks. So we're trying to knock out about 4 to 5 videos in one day. So you're going to see a lot of the shirt. My wife loves it. Nobody else does, but it beats the heat. So anyways, how was your weeks? How's everybody doing? We're doing good. Nick?
My week was still good.
Same as 30 minutes ago, right?
Yeah. I installed a garbage disposal in my new house today. So that's my big thing.
All by yourself?
All by myself.
Well, what's interesting is some politicians find garbage disposals to be quite interesting.
Mm-hmm. But, yeah. There you go. Chris, how was your week? Did you do anything fun today?
Did I do anything fun today? I've been working through this to-do list, which consists of talking to you for an extended period of time. I spent an inordinate amount of money on tickets to a Dave Matthews Band show. And other than that, it's just another typical Friday.
Do both of y'all typically work on Fridays?
Usually not, no. I actually am, when we're done with this, I've got a couple of service types of things that I need to go do.
Sure.
I deliver a lot of my own policies, and I was only able to get with a couple people today, and I didn't want to mail stuff out. So
sure.
I'm going to go out and run a couple of deliveries.
I think it depends on what the rest of the week or the rest of the month looks like. I like to lay out my month the first weekend of the month, and I like to lay out my week kind of the Saturday before. So say, for example, 2 weeks ago, I had a pre-K graduation, so Thursday was shot. Then I used Friday for a sales day, but I usually like to have 3 to 4 full days in the field, depending on how the week and the month look.
I usually spend a Friday recruiting. I'll take 1 week out, and it's either like the service work kind of stuff, but I also spend a majority of my day on the phone with possible recruits, old recruits that I hadn't talked to in a while. But I spend a lot of my Fridays just talking on the phone with recruits. But I'm just the outside looking in. Speaking of the outside looking in, we got a hellacious email from somebody who we don't know who it is. All we know is their name is the outside looking in. So whoever you are, if you're watching our content, we love you, because one, we're trying to grow this thing so more and more agents can see it. So if you haven't already, go ahead and give us a thumbs up. We're going for our record number of thumbs up. Our record is 16. We're going for 17, folks. Give us a thumbs up. Make us feel good about what we're doing here. We've got 200 subscribers. We usually get about 150 views, which is very high. As far as I look at all of YouTube, and I see some people that have 10 million subscribers, but they only get 200,000 views. So the ratio is really not that good. So we're actually very excited that even though we only have 200 people that are subscribed, that we get about 150, 100% of views means a lot to us. But it also lets us know that some of you that are watching are not subscribed. So take that time now. But let's get into this email. And we've already talked about a little bit about how we're going to play this out. But Nick, just go ahead and read the email, because you have an amazing speaking and reading voice. So give us that sweet, sweet tone that you're known for.
So I will say there is an actual signature at the bottom of this email. So it seems to be from Kevin Robinson. But
thanks, Kevin.
His handle is the outside looking in, with in being spelled INN. And I enjoy that name. So good on you, Kevin.
Maybe.
The email says, and it's a long email, I'll try and read kind of briskly. Good morning, gentlemen. I recently started following you on YouTube, and I appreciate you giving back. You guys are writing some serious business, and I've heard from a reputable source that I was told that I could learn a lot from you, and I'm taking their word for it. As much as possible, I prefer to get my information directly from the source rather than from an author or from people who are no further along in the business than I am. Me too. Did I hear Nick say that he works in the field only 2 days a week and uses 2 days a week to schedule those field appointments and writes close to $250,000 annually on that 4-day work week schedule? If not, please clarify. That's kind of sort of right. Chris and Matt, I haven't heard how you two run your schedules or any other specific production numbers. Would you mind sharing with me? I don't know. So far, I've found that there are some common denominators amongst top producers. Top producers here, he's defining as $200,000 plus net writing numbers. If I'm wrong and or missing something, please correct me. One, they're calling 25 to 30 new leads every week, no exceptions. Two, they expect to connect with only a very small percentage of those leads and close only 20 to 25% of the total. Again, maybe. Although I've earned $100,000 income in the past, I've never reached 200,000, and so that's the number that's driving me right now. What is the system to earn this in the final expense business with 8 months remaining in the year? What will it take to net $134,000 from that point? So that's the email, which was a really nice email and really thoughtful. And we did email Kevin back at one point and just tell him that, you know, there's so much stuff that he brought up in this email that we were going to just try and break it all down in a video rather than try and send him back like a 7 or 8 page email.
He's going to get his own video.
Yeah, he's going to get his own video. It's wow. This one's for you. So even still, I don't know. I don't know that that we can actually cover all of that in a single video, and I don't know how interesting some of that stuff's going to be. Like, you know, like, yeah, that's my work schedule, kind of. Not exactly right, but it's close enough. Yeah. Yes, order new leads every week. Everybody should probably be ordering new leads every week.
But hold on, I didn't get to see everyone in those last 20 leads. I've got 12 people I didn't even see yet.
Still order new leads.
You did an awful job that week, then.
So, like, and we've done videos on leads, and we'll link somewhere right around here to Let's Talk About Leads, which we've done in the past, where we go over some of this. But I think we all decided that the bit about that he said.
Actually, we're going to link right here, timestamp. We're going to link something right up here. It's a little gray bar somewhere. I don't really know what it's going to be, but it's going to be the link to the leads. If you haven't, stop here, click it, open a new tab, and watch that now, and then come right back.
So I think the bit that intrigued us all, because he's not the only person that's asked us some variation on this question, is would you mind sharing your experiences of what it was like when you got started, what the growing pains are, what to expect, and when it got better. And we've been asked several times, not necessarily for our experiences when we were starting out, but what a new agent should expect when they're new. You know, if you're brand new to the final expense business, maybe you've had some experience selling other types of insurance, or you've come from a different area of sales, or you have no sales background whatsoever. What's that first year like?
Can I start? Can I start?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Chris, you're up.
So the first year in the business should involve you working an insane amount because you have not learned the business yet. It's going to mean you're going to miss sales that later on you will get. It means that you're going to burn leads that later you will sell. And it means that taking a 9-to-5 mentality at the job is not going to work. That anything that you do, you need to do for several months before you can pass judgment on. That you can't just order 25 telemarketed internet leads and say, final expense sucks because you couldn't get anything from that in 5 days. The first year is going to require you being mentored by someone who has a proven track record and success, who can show you how to do a presentation, who has made all of the same mistakes you're about to make but will prevent you from making them. And one of the key parts of the first year is managing your money appropriately. It's very easy to make money and spend it all rather rapidly, but every Friday when it comes to charge your card for your leads for Saturday, the money needs to be there. So the first year in the business is going to be a lot of work, but when you look back 12 months later, you'll have more money than you would ever have imagined if you did it properly.
Okay, now you, Matt.
Sure. Dude, the first year is going to suck. Like, I speak when I talk to people about this business, I tell them, like, dude, talk to me like we're two dudes at a bar having a beer. I was talking with an agent just before I got on here, and I was like, dude, seriously, like, just talk to me. Like, don't tell me how great it is over there for you, because I know exactly where you're at. Like, just talk to me. And he was like, dude, it sucks, right? Because it does. People pump sunshine and rainbows, and I wish it was that way. My first year, I nearly went broke. I think I did go broke, right? I slept in my car because my alternator went out. I didn't have any money to buy a new alternator. I had to sleep in my car. I slept in an office to wake up to have somebody there at 6 a.m. because that was when she went to work. We were writing a policy on her grandmother. She brought her grandmother in at 6:30. It was weird. My hair was all messed up. It wasn't like it is now. I did a lot of weird stuff, right? I just did. It was just going back to, you're always going to work. It has to be, there's got to be so much that you have to do your first year. And there's got to be a system in place. And if you don't have a system, it really, really sucks. And I'm going to mimic what he says. You've got to have somebody who's done it. So I can teach you that, yeah, it's still going to suck, but at least I can teach you what to not do. Is make sure you have money, that if your alternator does go out, you've got money to pay for it. You've got money for leads. You've got money for this, because a lot of people, when they get their very first commission check, it happens almost every time. They will go refuse to quit. Yeah, that's right. They will go have an amazing month. And they're going to go, Matt, this was incredible. And I go, cool. Take 20 to 30% of what you just made and dump it back into leads. And what do? They go have a vacation, right? Right? Am I right? And they'll say, oh, yeah, I've got some old leads that I haven't seen yet, and I got some other people that I'm ready to write up. But what they don't know is those leads that they haven't seen are never going to pick up the phone. What they don't know is those people that are there are in assisted living. They're a GI case, right? They're a direct express card. And they don't put money back in the leads. They have the improper money management, and they don't have fresh leads. And by month 3, they're out of the business, because the next month they're trying to scramble. They don't have any leads. They start asking their upline, saying, hey, do you have any extra leads, or can we split some sales? And I said, no. I told you 2 months ago when you were killing it to reinvest, or 2 weeks ago when you were killing it to reinvest back into leads. It's not my fault at that point. My fault. When I recruit somebody, I put proper expectations on what I expect somebody to do. And then I also put expectations of what you should expect from me as an upline. If at any point you don't find value in me, you can fire me as an upline. The first year is tough. I don't know of anybody who really just had a monstrous year, mainly because your cash flow isn't there. You don't have the renewals. Years 2, 3, and 4, especially whoever's outside looking in, your income is only going to go up if you continue to just be consistent in this business because of renewals and back end money. It's just going to keep getting better. So even if you just keep doing what you're doing by renewals alone, you'll get to that $200,000 mark.
I think it's important, and one of the things that I take great pride in, especially in those first 12 months, is I didn't change a single thing about my budget except buying leads. Like, I still functioned with a poor mentality, so that I wasn't picking up a $700 car note. I wasn't moving 6 months into this job. I wasn't, buying 6 new TVs. And the three of us talked offline quite privately one night about how we came from very meager income levels before, and we still suffer with a poor mentality in a lot of ways. And that's what got us through 12 months, because we're conservative with our money. I worked very consistently every week, and this last month, when this is being filmed, I had several expected yet unexpected expenditures that cost well over nearly $10,000. I had my lease on my car ended. I had to put a down payment on a new car. I had to pay off a vacation. I had a cat that turned ill, and I dropped an inordinate amount of money at the vet. And almost $10,000 later, I looked at my bank account to buy these tickets today, and it didn't look any different than a month before. I wasn't net positive like I wanted it to be, but I was at that same level where I was like, $600 on tickets? All right. Work hard, play hard, and treat yourself to it. But in the first 12 months, Be very frugal with your money. Budget very tight. Do not pick up any new expenses that aren't business expenses. Set up a separate business account. Pay yourself like you were an employee, because it's very easy to treat this like a hobby. But I've told an agent once, you'll either make money or you'll be ruined in this job. It's going to be one or the other.
Yeah.
I'll give you an example, and hang on, you're exactly correct in that. You know, this last month, and I'll just go ahead and announce it. I left my current job. I went to a new job. I just left where I was currently at. Congratulations to me. Thanks, guys. Thanks for congratulating me. Anyways, for the last 3 weeks, I didn't work because I was traveling. I was in the middle of doing stuff. I still got paid. I just looked at my bank account, and I was up from where I was last month. I was still up because of cash flow and because I was able to manage my money properly and because I had things set up. So you're exactly right. You have to have a separate account. I really tell everybody, get a separate checking account and see if you can, with your bank, and see if you can have every deposit you have come in for at least for the first year. 20 to 30% of your deposits need to go into that separate account for leads, and another 20-25%, Nick, and I know you're big on this too, goes into another account for taxes, because a lot of people screw themselves over on taxes, right?
Yeah. People go out of the business because they have to pay Uncle Sam. You gotta, I mean, yeah, it's important. You gotta manage your finances. And the thing is, the other thing that you have to understand is, in the first year, is you're probably getting paid on advance, right?
Mm-hmm.
So let's say you write $100,000 in your first year, you're not seeing that $100,000 right away.
Right.
Keep it all on the books. You keep 100%. You lose nobody.
Ooh.
You're only going to make $75,000 that year.
Mm-hmm.
And then at the end of the year, you start getting paid more. You start making those last month's deposits. If you can make it through to month 13, that's usually when stuff starts to pile up enough that it starts to be a legitimate difference. If you can hang on and make it through till month 13, then if you're writing $100,000 a year, then you're actually making $100,000 over the course of the year. And realistically, you should, I firmly believe, if you have a system that you can follow and you are getting 20 to 25 leads, direct mail leads, not Facebook leads, not telemarketed leads, direct mail leads, every single week, with no exceptions, you should be able to write $4,000 of premium every single week in, week out. Some weeks more, but never less.
Say it again for those louder in the back.
Yeah.
Say it again louder for those in the back.
20 to 25 direct mail leads every single week should equal $4,000 in AP every single week.
How do you get that number? Reverse, because part of the email was 20-25 leads a week, okay,
Yeah.
which is true.
Right.
And he said, and you should only see or close 20-25% of those.
So
just kind of run us through your thought process, because you're smarter than all of us.
So my thought process is you get 25 leads a week, and let's say you close times 0.25. Let's say you close on average 6 apps a week. You write, so if you're getting 25, you close 25%, you're a little less than 25%, and you're writing 6 applications a week.
Mm-hmm.
With the average application giving you $600,
$3,600.
$3,600. So go out and write one extra app off of that, right? Work a little harder in your first year, and
now you wrote 4,200.
Now you wrote 4,200. Great, you made goal. Hey, you did that on a Monday because you ran 10 appointments on Monday. Take the rest of the week off. You're good. Go back out and do it again next week. But if you're getting 25 leads a week, you should be able to write 6 apps, 7 apps They're not going to be exactly $600 each time. They might be more. They might be less. It should not be impossible for you to get in front of enough people to do that. If you are getting in front of 12 people and giving a presentation off of 25 apps, you're getting in front of off of 25 leads, you're getting in front of less than half of your leads, and you're closing half the people that you see. Yeah, you're doing pretty good.
Yeah.
And that should be minimum level of acceptability.
Yeah.
So that I like to break things down into the smallest number necessary. So, in your first year, the only thing you should focus on is making sure you have enough money in your bank account to pay for leads every week, because leads are your rent. You don't have an office if you don't have leads.
That's right.
Here's 2 points I want to jump on.
Yeah.
Your lead bill monthly should be equivalent to your rent or your mortgage. If you're not spending that much money, then you're not going to earn as much as you need to pay for that. At this point of the 20-minute mark in the video, we should link back to the mental game. The job is extremely mentally challenging, and you will want to quit almost every single day, at least one time a day. And that is normal. If you quit, you get what you get. But if you put the work in and you're working it like a full-time job, 40 plus hours a week, minimum the first year, you will find your way through the hard times. Listen to what the person that's brought you into the business tells you what to do. If they've shown that they have the ability to do it, to sell it, and to make the money, please don't reinvent their wheel. There are people that will find success in the captive environment. There's successful independent producers. Strap your wagon to a successful producer and find success. And that's one of the key parts to getting through the first 12 months.
Can I say something really quickly? Because I know Nick's about to jump in, because he's like hopscotch. He's always ready to jump in. I saw something that on Tips, Tricks, and Closers, and Ryan runs a great group called Tips, Tricks, and Closers. He talked about, especially the first couple of years of this business, you're going to have so many 9-to-5ers, people that are not on commission only, that will tell you it's not going to work. I want to tell this story again because it's very true to me. For the first 2, maybe 3 years of me doing this, I had to eat so much crap from family members, from friends, from loved ones. Every time that I went birthdays, holidays, it was always like, they didn't say it. They're always like, "Hey, so how's the whole thing, going? Are you happy?" And they knew I was struggling, especially the first year. But I had this, I knew that I looked at people who've been in this business for 15, 20, 30 years, and I've never seen an unhappy agent after 15, 20 years. And I just knew that if I stuck and stayed, I would make enough money. And then this March, in my birthday, I was out and I had about 20 or 30 friends, and I invited them out to my birthday party. And we're all sitting there and we're having fun. We're drinking. We had food all over the table. And my wife, who's Romanian, leans over to me and says, "Hey, it's custom in Romania that if you invite everybody out to your birthday party, that you pay for all their food and drinks." And I took my card out and I gave it to the lady. I said, "I'm paying for everything." I don't remember how much the bill was, but it was $400 or $500, whatever it was. And I did it without question because I stuck and stayed, and I had the cash flow to do it. And I couldn't tell you how well and how awesome I felt that I wasn't worried about swiping my card for that. And I just felt so relieved that now my family members see me as a businessman. They used to see me as a salesman, but now they see me as a businessman for who I am. And if you can make it past that crappy mark, it's so much better. If you can make it past that first, I really say 24 to 36 months is when you really start sitting your stride. That's really when I started hitting mine. I don't know about you guys. The second year wasn't so great for me because I was at a place that my contract wasn't what it's supposed to be. My advance wasn't what it's supposed to be. It was a really weird situation. Y'all know the story. If anybody ever wants to reach out to me and talk to me about it, please do. All of our information is going to be in the description below. Chris, if you want to reach out to Chris and hear his story, it's down there. Nick, if you want yours down there, it's down there. Mine, it's down there. Reach out to me. I will tell you my story because it's real. It's very real. I guess I'm getting emotional on this one because it's real to me.
Yeah.
You got to make it. You got to make it. So, Nick, you're up.
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't really have anything more than just alley-ooping on what you guys already said. You know, it's the first year's a struggle. You know, you have to convince yourself that it's more important to pay for your leads than it is to pay for anything else. You gotta buy your leads, and you have to make sure that you figure out a way to make it happen. If that means you have to borrow money to make it happen, you got to borrow money to make it happen. You have to make sure that you've got somebody who's teaching you how to do this that actually sells final expense. It is so important that you have somebody who actually sells final expense teaching you how to do this, because there are a lot of people out there who don't sell final expense that are going to be happy to offer you advice, and it's usually going to be bad, that are going to be happy to offer you training,
Of course.
and usually going to be non-existent.
Right.
Or it's going to be teaching you how to do things that aren't going to help you, that are going to cause you to spin your wheels. And that's not true for every type of insurance. You know, there's other types of insurance that I sell. I sell Medicare. Like, man, Medicare is a product-based insurance sale. Like, you know, you're not having to go out there and learn how to prospect and sell the same way that you do with a final expense policy. You know, your upline, your trainer, your manager needs to be able to help you identify products or underwriting or networks or all sorts of stuff that have nothing to do with the sales process. But for final expense, you need somebody who can teach you how to sell. It is a product that needs to be sold.
Training needs to be defined clearly as not watching a carrier webinar on how I've never watched one. Training is not a monthly call where training is qualitative, factual ways to go out and make money that day.
Yeah.
Training is someone that will contract you, and if you need it, will come get in the car with you and show you how to do the business. Training is, please, when someone calls to cancel the policy, this is how we handle this scenario.
Yeah.
Why do we do it that way? We do it that way because we've done it the other way and it didn't work. Training is not just simply contract and being told good luck with it.
Or being given a Dropbox file.
This is a hard job, and it will not work if you're not taking down the right path with it. So,
yeah.
I know we're about to hit the 30-minute mark, so I want to kind of like wrap this up.
Yeah.
How important is it to you guys? Like, just, is it super important to have a supportive life partner in this?
Yes.
Yes, and Chris?
absolutely.
I think so too. I wouldn't be there. I wouldn't be where I'm at today if it wasn't for my wife. She won't believe this unless it's recorded. I promise you, I wouldn't be where I'm at today if it wasn't for my wife. You gotta have somebody that you love, that understands this business. Not really understands all of it, but understands what we go through on a day-to-day basis. Or it sucks, especially the first year. So that was part one of outside looking in the email. I hope that maybe just really quickly, Nick, how many days are you in the field?
Usually 2.
Okay.
Usually 2.
But you would say that you put in a 4 to 5 day work week, right?
Oh yeah, I mean, I have maybe a problem with being a workaholic. I work every day. It's my business. There's always stuff to do.
Right.
It's just not always sales related. Like there's like, I gotta deal with insurance companies and filing paperwork and doing my taxes and making sure that my finances work. And, you know, there's stuff to do every single day, all the time. I spent the entirety of the day yesterday in the office, just dealing with clients and making phone calls and filing change of beneficiary paperwork and responding to emails and I spent an entire 8-hour day doing it.
But you had already achieved your goal for the week, right?
Oh yeah, I'd written $7,500 already.
Yes.
Yeah, the very first part of your
What a
week, no
newbie.
matter what, is going to
I
be,
know.
I'm going to get the annualized premium that I need before I do anything else, right?
Right. Which
Correct.
is why when I set up my schedule, and you don't have to do it this way, but my goal is to give 12 presentations a week, because I know if I give 12 presentations a week, I'm going to hit my financial goals. And so I set it up so that I run 10 appointments on a Monday so that I have the best shot of giving 12 presentations in the shortest period of time as humanly possible. That's not for everybody. Not everybody wants to go spend 12 hours in the field on Monday. I do, because then I don't have to spend more time in the field the rest of the week. But
You know, this beer here is a lager. There's an IPA, which is a incredible type of beer, but IPA is also income producing activities. 80% of what you do should be an income producing activity in this business. After that, the other 20%, paperwork, other stuff, that's okay. 80% should be an IPA, an income producing activity.
also, Yingling should sponsor us. I'm gonna.
Yingling, what's up?
I'll put it out right there. Yingling is going to be the official beer of the YouTube channel. So,
I'm drinking one
oldest beer in
beer
America
we do today, so you're going to see me get more and more loose as things go on. Chris, what's your work week like? I know we're running over, but I think it's okay. I think it's important. What's your work week like? Just kind of give us a very general.
Yep. So my work week this week, just to give you a real life example, Monday was a holiday. On Monday, I called for appointments for Tuesday. I worked Wednesday, and my appointments that are called for appointments for Wednesday. I'm just trying to look at my actual calendar, and it's not coming up. There it is. And on Thursday, I worked all freaking day. And today I'm sitting here with you. So that's 3 full days in the field, and ironically wrote the exact same thing Nick did. I guess that's just what amateurs tend to do together.
amateur numbers, man.
Yeah. Noobs.
We'll get better someday.
I wanted to retweet it one more time. When people say things on the internet like, write that GI, don't believe them.
Well, that's the other thing. Don't like the internet forums are great for certain things. The insurance forums, the tips, tricks, and closers forums. I have a Facebook group. They're great for certain things, and they're great for camaraderie and sharing war stories and batting around ideas. They are not the place to go to get concrete, specific advice, especially if you're not giving all the details. But they're really, you have to have better resources than going and asking, like, where do I underwrite this person?
Mm-mm.
Right.
You just got to have better resources than that. How, don't.
You should not be getting case decisions on Facebook.
Well, really, really quickly, my week is Saturday. I'm usually calling for Monday. I will run as many. I spend Monday and Tuesday training an agent. I always have an agent in the car with me Monday and Tuesday if possible. If not, I'll run into my own. That's cool. But I always try to have somebody in the car with me because I believe in field training. When I have somebody with me, it's not a webinar. It's not a Dropbox. It's you get in the car, be quiet, sit in the house, and just watch me do this. And I'll write you in for 10% of the app if you do the paperwork for me, so I don't have to. Right. That's my Monday and Tuesday. Wednesday is kind of a catch up and get, make sure any amendments I have, anything I need to do, I'm catching up on that kind of stuff. Thursday, if I haven't hit my goal for the week as far as annual production that I want to do, and mine's much smaller than both of y'all's. Mine's only about $3,000, maybe $3,500 a week. But I try to shoot for more than that. But realistically, what I need, there's wants and needs. My need is much lower than most people because I live very, we'll say I live very poor, right? I don't have a whole lot of expenses. And we've talked about this again late at night one time, but Friday I spend recruiting. I spend my time on Fridays, well, except for today. We are doing some videos, but I'd rather be doing this anyways. But I spend my Fridays talking on the phone with people and seeing if I can get them to come work with me, see what their opportunities like, how they feel, and do that. And then I start again on Saturday morning for maybe about 2 hours. And then I always take Sunday off. I don't work anything on Sunday.
All right.
That's it.
I think that's a great way to put a wrap to this second video of the day.
Yeah. If you haven't, like, comment, subscribe. Whose week do you want to be most like? Do you want to be like Nick that does it in one day if possible? You want to be like Chris that does it in 3 or 4 days? Or you want to be like Matt that is a crazy person and doesn't really know what he's doing, doesn't have a system? Who do you want to be like? Like, comment, subscribe. Let us know if you have any questions. There's going to be a link in the description with all our contact information. There's going to be a link to other videos. We're going to always suggest another video that you should watch right after that one that kind of goes against what we're talking about today, or what we're kind of goes with it. I think that'll be very helpful. So if you haven't, share this out to somebody, like it, comment, subscribe, or dislike it. We don't care. We'll keep doing them. Yeah, it'll be great.